Ed Reardon's Week by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. Episode 5, Murder Most Rewritten.
Dear Customer Care Manager, or Indecipherable Squiggle, if I may be so familiar. Thank you so much for telling me that since your company took over my local railway line, I now won't be able to use my Iron Horse travel card for journeys to London between the hours of 4 and 7. Thank you also for implying that it's my fault for having the nerve to board the train in the first place. Yours, Ed Reardon, legible of Berkhamsted.
Monday. Hostilities resume in one man's lone battle against the forces of corporate darkness, as I heroically resist sinking beneath the waves of mediocrity that surround this once proud but now privatised island.
What's the matter? You thirsty? I'm sorry, drinks are rationed from now on. I'll have to replace your bowl of water with a drip.
A problem more pressing even than a disgruntled cat is today's other communication from the world of what are laughably called services. A demand from Power South, or as their cretinous logo puts it, have we got juice for you, threatening to cut off my electricity failing a settlement of their bill by return. This should have been taken care of by the residual payment for £62.75 for my episode of Tenko. However, the envelope from Felix Jeffrey Associates contained merely a statement, and with it the information that their new streamlined payment system means the actual money won't be in my account for another 4 to 5 working days. Repeated calls to the agency were met only with the answering machine, necessitating desperate measures.
Hello? Felix? Ping? Oh,
hi, Ed. I'm afraid no one's in yet.
hello, Atlanta.
Hello. We only got back from our brainstorming jolly yesterday evening. That's why everyone's taken the morning off.
Ah, brainstorming. Pastime of the salaried classes, like grouse shooting, but without the mental effort.
No, it was a murder mystery weekend.
Really?
Yeah, chavvy little 4-star hotel in Reading. Quite cool, though. Loads of team-building tests and stuff. It's supposed to make us more efficient.
Does that increase one's chances of getting paid, do you think?
You'd have to ask accounts about that, but Petronella's not in yet either.
Oh, well, never mind. At least the agency hasn't moved without telling me. Wouldn't have put that past Felix. My parents tried it once.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh, you too?
Yeah, parents are the absolute pits. That's why I've come in early. Get some peace. My mum's got this Count von Thingy of Salzburg staying in the house, and she's being like a total Nazi.
Oh, at least he won't feel too unwelcome then.
You can't do anything about that, can you? It just keeps ringing.
Well, I suppose if you answered it every once in a while.
Yeah, right.
I'll wait in Felix's office if you don't mind.
It's a comfort of sorts that only those from the richest families in the land can afford to work for the wages offered by literary and arts organisations. I'm told the payrolls at the Royal Court Theatre and the Whitechapel Art Gallery read like Burke's Peerage. Felix's enormous desk, with its vintage car magazines, gave one scant confidence in him as a crusader on behalf of exploited authors. But the office did at least offer writerly treasure trove in the form of A4 envelopes, large paper clips, and several boxes of rubber bands, all fair game pending the arrival of the Tenko Gold.
Ed, what are you doing in the stationery cupboard?
Oh, hello, Ping. Not long till the next office party, just waiting for casual sex, you know. So, how was brainstorming?
It was completely brilliant. They have this murder mystery where you have to guess all the clues and stuff. And it was really funny because Felix came bottom of every single test. Clue spotting, obstacle course. And he was just so gay in the relay race.
Atlanta, could you bring me a pot of tea and some toast? I must have nursery comforts. Oh, hello, Reardon.
Just been hearing about the curious affair at the Reading Hotel.
Oh, it was awful from beginning to end. And that play, one rank cliché after another with some of the most glaringly obvious clues and red herrings I've ever seen.
Not that obvious, though. You said the dagger did it because it was in love with the carpet.
Well, drink had been taken by that stage. The script must have been written by an imbecile. Even you could do better than that, Ed.
How much do they pay?
Ping, have you got the murder mystery agreement?
It's in your briefcase. You put it in there when you told the woman in charge it was the best weekend of your life.
Yes, I happen to know they're looking for new writers. I know Michael Frayn turned it down, although I've an idea Stoppard did a couple.
So this is the latest in the grim litany of new management fads, God help us.
No, it's been going for 25 years. The woman who runs it just got an OBE. Of course, they give them to absolutely anybody these days.
Oh, I know. Just for standing behind a post office counter for 40 years. I've stood in front of one for longer than that.
I've a good mind to send mine back. No. Oh, yes, here we are. Yes, I think they pay about 250 quid.
For a play?
For a play that doesn't have to be any good at all, and which gets you a slap-up meal in the Stavros Welcome Hotel every time it's done. Imagine that.
Oh, Ed, you're dribbling. Your beard's gone all wet.
Then you won't have to steal our rubber bands anymore, will you?
Well, how did you...
About half a dozen round your feet. They always make one little mistake, Inspector.
So, in your cast, you have Inspector Oxford, Clarkson the chauffeur, Cringe the butler, Don Monty the gardener, that always gets a big laugh, Fifi the French maid, and Lady Sarah Pumpkinson, which is the part I play.
Is there any leeway with the names?
Why, what's wrong with them?
Well, they're a bit on the nose, as we say in drama.
Well, it isn't Shakespeare, darling.
Clearly.
In fact, Shakespeare couldn't do it. Anyone can write a play.
Can they?
But corporate team-building scenarios are 10 times harder than anything you'll see in the West End. Oh, I'd like to see Tom Stoppard do one of these.
I thought he did.
Yes, that was a bad example. Bit too clever. You really needed the following week as well to work it out.
Tuesday. My brief from Marion Blunt, the presiding genius of Blunt Instruments Murder Mysteries, was to provide a corporate dinner-time entertainment at the Stavros Welcome Hotel, with the first corpse appearing just before the soup on Friday evening, and subsequent bodies, together with sundry clues, to be revealed at scheduled mealtimes throughout the weekend. The event culminating in the unmasking of the villain at Sunday lunchtime. Even the dullest flatfoot could deduce that this adds up to 6 free meals, plus drinks at the bar, and the possibility of authorial droit de seigneur with Fifi the French maid. Cynical, some might say. But if the theatre is to succeed as an art, it must first do so as a business. A lesson I tried to din into my writing class at the Berkhamsted Leisure Centre. Weekly fee, £20.
What do you know about the theatre?
Well, as it happens, I've got something being produced at Reading. It's only a short piece.
Oh, is it lunchtime theatre? I'll come and see that.
Yes, lunchtime. Tea time, dinner time, and breakfast, as a matter of fact.
Where is it on? The Hexagon?
Near there, Olive. It's the Stavros Welcome Hotel.
Not one of them corporate murder weekends, is it?
Yes.
Thought so. That's what you call theatre, is it?
Yes. And if it is to succeed as an art, Stan...
I went on one of those when I worked for Severn Trent. That woman's still running it. She's done all right for herself, thank you very much.
My daughter went on one of those weekends. She got promoted.
Thought you were going to say pregnant.
No, she spotted the bananas were poisoned with salmonella.
Who done it then? Cringe the butler? It's usually him.
I don't know what you're all talking about.
It's a team-building exercise, apparently. Companies fondly imagine it's a way of identifying management material.
Why don't they just have an interview? No, it's all about initiative tests these days.
Getting sloshed and trying to have it off with the French maid. She's 50 if she's a day.
We're getting off the point here.
And that was then, before I got my pension.
All sounds a load of bunkum to me.
Shouldn't be so quick to condemn, Pearl. That's the future. As we say in the corporate world, ain't gonna change anytime soon, baby. We that are young shall never see so much, nor live so long. Curtain. Yes, I know it's King Lear, but they'll never know. Roughly the same number of corpses on stage. Wednesday. By a strange dramatic irony, of which there is absolutely none to be found in the script, as per the contract, the corporate clients who will be trying to establish the culprit in the forthcoming murder mystery weekend are none other than the middle management team, or honchos and caballeros as they doubtless call themselves, of Power South, the same rebarbative plankton, as I call them, who've been threatening to cut off my electricity, and thus deny themselves the chance to pit their 40-watt wits against the twists and turns of the family silver mystery.
So, you're the writer?
Well, somebody has to do it.
I thought the actors just made it up as they went along.
Now, as I said, somebody has to do it.
So, are you going to give me any clues?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to say, Melon.
It's Melanie.
Oh, sorry, you've got a bit of shaving foam on your lapel badge.
Oh, yeah, that initiation test was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. Oh, come on, can't you tell me anything? Like, what to look out for?
I think that would spoil the fun of it all.
Oh, no, it's not fun. No, this is serious for us. I might have to reapply for my own job if I don't do well this weekend.
I'm sorry, but it would be like me asking you how I can get a month's grace on paying my Power South bill.
Oh, that's easy. What you do is, right...
Fringe! Call the police immediately. His lordship has been murdered.
Oh, look, it started.
Never mind about that. What were you saying about my bill?
Shush.
Inspector Oxford, you're here very quickly.
Yes, Lady Pumpkinson, the police force hasn't been privatised yet. If it had, your butler would have been phoning a call centre in Bangalore.
When did we last meet, Inspector?
As I recall, ma'am, it was that busyness over the letter bomb you were sent through the post.
Oh, that must be a clue.
Fortunately, as it was consignia, it went to the wrong address.
It's a fair point, though.
Madame, someone has poisoned the cat.
You'd better sit down, Fifi.
I'll say, poor old dear. Friday. A very satisfactory first night for the family silver mystery. The hotel bar is abuzz with theory and counter-theory as to why his lordship should have been murdered, apart from crimes against acting. Proof that I have given the cheap-suited 12-year-olds from Power South something to scratch their spikily gelled heads over. I've also slipped under their guard some of my own views on the corporate piracy practised on my birthright. That's the end of the whiskey. We've got biscottes. I wonder what de Bonnet is actually like. Well, never know if you don't try. As Cringe says to the inspector at breakfast tomorrow, when he offers him the rat poison kedgeree. Oh. I like to think I'm following in the footsteps of the blacklisted Hollywood writers of the 1950s, who were only able to get work incognito on the Robin Hood series, but still managed by skill and stealth to get their political convictions across to an unsuspecting tea-time audience. A victim of persecution myself, I've been blacklisted not just by Hollywood, but by Hollywood Video in Berkhamsted, New York Bagels in Berkhamsted, and the Chicago Pizza Company in Tring. This sounds promising. Can't be the bailiffs anyway. Ah.
Ed, have you got a moment?
Lady Pumpkinson, what in heaven's name brings you to the 4th floor of the Stavros Welcome at this godforsaken hour of the night?
Yes, can we just drop that? I'm really knackered, and we need to go through the script for tomorrow morning's second act.
What's wrong with it?
Oh, nothing we can't fix. Come on, bring your laptop. And we do need a lot more Power South in jokes. Here you are.
What's this?
Well, it's the CVs of all the execs taking part.
I see. So, Neil Mackenzie likes golf but has real problems with Excel spreadsheets. Adrian Thomas has got a Scottish mother-in-law. Right. How do you propose I weave all this into my tautly plotted narrative?
Well, I can do an Edinburgh accent if that helps. My girls are the creme de la creme.
Well, that's all very well, but these really are fundamental changes you're proposing.
Well, it'll just take a few minutes, a writer of your experience. Oh, and it's, what's his name, Peter Martin's 30th birthday tomorrow. So we need to change the poisoned kedgeree to a poisoned birthday cake, in the shape of a cricket bat.
A birthday cake at breakfast time. That should throw him off the scent.
Right, well, I'll leave you to it. The business centre's open all night, so when you've printed up all the new pages, you can put them under the actors' doors, all right, my love?
Yes. Good night. Excuse me, can I have a Jameson's, please?
I'll get that. Make it 2 large ones.
Oh, hello, Melanie.
So, Mr. Writer, where were we?
Well, I thought I was off to the land of Nod, but apparently that's a good 6 hours away.
Don't you remember? You were going to give me some clues about who done it.
Well, no, I can't possibly. Apart from anything else, I'm not entirely sure who it is now.
And I was going to help you out with your electricity bill, and any other little thing that you need doing.
That's £65.90, madam.
Call it £80.
Thank you very much.
It's room 406, if anyone needs to know.
I could live for 2 months on that. Cheers.
So, who done it? My money's on Cringe. Hot or cold?
Cold. Look, I really can't... Oh,
it was quite thick corduroy, this, isn't it?
yes, it's Marks and Spencer's. Still the best. Oh, look, I really am going to have to bid you good night.
OK, Ed, I'm going to level with you.
Ooh.
I need to get a result here, because understand this, I am going for that promotion. Sure, my IT skills are rubbish, but Melanie Pierce is not going to crash and burn. That is not how the Melanie Pierce story ends. She's a survivor, Ed, and I brought up 2 kids on my own, for God's sake, and that's a whole lot more than Colin Rogers ever had to do. And I never chased him at Phil Watson's leaving do. I never did.
No, though I note from your CV that you once had an unfortunate experience with a tuna salad.
Mention that, and you are dead, loser.
Saturday. I make it a rule never to allow myself to get entangled with any woman who refers to herself in the third person, especially when she's wearing blotched eye makeup and shoes sharper than an Eskimo's harpoon. My only nocturnal companion, not for the first time, was the rewrite, and together we made it through to the dawn, the last humorous reference to Power South's management team coinciding with the cheery whistle outside the hotel of the milkman, with his 24,000 cartons of Chiltern Fair beverage additives.
Will you join us for breakfast, Inspector?
Don't mind if I do, your ladyship. Is that a cake? Does this mean it's a certain cricket fan's birthday?
May I trouble you for another slice? It is so delicious.
Fifi, a second corpse. Why, this affair is becoming more complicated than trying to understand an Excel spreadsheet.
Hi, Ed. How you doing, darling?
Look, Ping, I'm sorry to call you on a Saturday afternoon.
That's okay. How's the mystery going? Has Colonel Mustard done the dirty deed yet?
Now, listen, I need you to get me out of this.
Huh?
The latest outrage is I'm being asked to cut 20 minutes out of my third act so that it finishes in time for the delegates to watch Dr. Bloody Who. This isn't writing, this is just sheer asinine.
Yeah, okay, Ed. The thing is, I can get you out of it, but you'd lose your money.
We are gathered here today in the sight of God.
Hello?
To witness
Who's
the
that?
joining
I'm at this wedding, yeah?
The vicar sounds a bit close. You're not actually the one getting married, are you, Ping?
No, I wouldn't be talking on the phone if I was getting married. I'm a bridesmaid.
Right, I'll be brief then. I can't afford to lose the fee, but I really think I'd better take my name off.
Okay, cool. Actually, I don't think your name was on it anyway.
Well, maybe not, but I think it's important to take a moral position on this.
You're absolutely right. Listen, I've got to go now, or Sophie will think I'm doing a just impediment jobby.
Thank you, and do give the happy couple my best wishes.
Sweet. Sophie? Sophie!
No, perhaps not now, Ping.
And I am saying this...
By the time I returned from the phone box in the high street, in an attempt to avoid paying the exorbitant cost of making a call from my hotel room, I found that my strategy had backfired. My laptop had disappeared from its place on top of that low wall unit underneath the mirror, whose purpose in life is a mystery in itself. Even more curious was the fact that the 2 cellophane-wrapped shortbread biscuits, which I'd set aside as a late-night accompaniment to the free 17 seconds of the Red Hot Extra channel, remained untouched on top of the television. This was clearly a thief with a purpose.
I'm sorry, Ed, you're just going to have to rewrite Act 3.
What?
Well, whoever's taken the laptop knows who done it now. This isn't the first time it's happened. They'll stop at nothing, some of them. Just don't talk to me about Specsavers. We had to call that one off on Friday night.
You mean come up with another murderer? But I can't. It's the inspector who does it. The whole arc of the story is building up to that.
Well, I never quite saw the logic of him, to be honest.
But surely you must have spotted that all the clues pointed towards Inspector Oxford being a foreign agent. Why? Because he was the only one who spoke English correctly, whereas all the other characters used various demotic abominations such as split infinitives, upward inflections, incorrect usage, beg the question when they mean ask.
Well, it's not going to be the end of the world if we lose all that.
The subtext being that it's not simply the murder of his lordship, but of the English language itself.
Well, whatever it is, it's a rewrite.
I was rather hoping to get some sleep tonight.
Well, have a snooze during Doctor Who if you hate it so much. Then I need you to make a majorly big effort to hopefully come up with a murderer different to the last one.
They come not single spies, but in battalions.
God, look who's talking about bad grammar.
The other problem is I find it very difficult to be without the tools of my trade. Even if I could undertake the decimation, as the 12-year-olds would have it, of my script, I do not have the means to.
Excuse me, sir. Is this your laptop?
Sunday. The family silver mystery is finally put to bed, shortly to be followed by its only begetter. Lady Pumpkinson, damn you, Inspector, yes, it was me, do you hear? Me. Brackets. Laughs maniacally. Maybe in a Scottish accent, leave that up to her. Ha ha ha. But how did you know? Yes, it's done! God, this is getting to be like the Roland Rat Christmas special. Ah, it's Colin Rogers, I see.
Yes, I'm sorry to wake you up, but you're in very, very grave danger.
Well, I'm certainly very, very tired.
I think I should warn you about Melanie Pierce. She stole your laptop and read the script before dumping it behind that yucca plant in the restaurant.
How do you know this?
Because I've been following her.
Isn't that known as stalking in non-executive circles?
Look, can I come in? That woman is trouble. She's mad, in fact. Did you ever see Fatal Attraction?
Some of it. Strictly speaking, it should be Fatal Attractiveness, and it was because I was making that point quite vociferously in the cinema that I didn't get to see anything past the opening titles. Oh! What are you doing?
Who's the culprit?
What culprit?
Is it Cringe? Is it Don Monty? Is Fifi not dead after all?
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Tell me, Grandad, unless you want a taste of this!
That's a plastic knife from the Wayfarer's brunch bar, if I'm not mistaken.
Got a serrated edge, though, hasn't it? Ever seen one of these go through a piece of fried bread? And that'll be your throat.
Oh, really? Does your career matter that much to you that you'd threaten a not that much older man?
Yes, and I haven't got all night. The poker school thinks I've gone to the gents. Come on! Oh, you're hurting my wrist.
Now, you listen to me, sonny boy. All right, so I tell you, and you get promotion, so what? What will you really get out of it? A new car? A couple of paragraphs in the Power South newsletter? Let me tell you, my young friend, when I was your age, they made a film from my first novel. I was profiled in both the London Review of Books and Sight and Sound magazine in the same quarter. Well, I can see from your face that you've never heard of either of those titles. But the point is, Ed Reardon was the new rock and roll. Or skiffle, as it then was. And now, here I am, writing 5 drafts of the family silver mystery for 250 quid. So much for the future. Is that worth stabbing someone for?
You're right. Oh, I'm a pillock. This whole human resources restructure has got to me.
Yes, I can see that it would. Now sit down and have a debonnaire. Ah, no, sorry, just dry roasted nuts or nothing, I'm afraid. Or biscottes.
Oh, go on then.
Well. How very boysy and chummy. Told him everything, have you, corduroy boy?
Don't be stupid, Mel. Put that shoe back on.
I knew you hadn't gone to the lav. You're trying to double-cross me. Just like that bastard Colin Rogers did at the sales conference in Erith. Well, let me tell you something.
Sorry, but isn't this Colin Rogers?
That's not Colin Rogers, you fool. It's Adrian Thomas.
Ah, I'm afraid that's not the earth-shattering revelation you imagine it to be.
We were swapping lapel badges earlier. Things got a bit out of hand.
Well, I'm not sure I could tell the difference anyway, apart from...
Oh, shut up!
No!
So, Melanie, what are you going to do? Kill me? Just like you killed Hirohito?
I loved that fish, and it wasn't my turn to feed him.
You just couldn't read the rota because it was on a spreadsheet.
I thought that was Neil Mackenzie. The mystery thickens.
Oh,
my God.
Thank you very much, everybody. And let's hear it for the band. That's Frank, Cliff, Ed Reardon, who finally made it 2 numbers late. Good of you to drop by, Ed. And me, Jazz Milvain. And if you'd like to experience more of my work, check out ITV2 round about 7:30 this evening, when there's a chance to enjoy again the Miss Marple Christmas special. And I'll give you a clue. I done it. for a great many thousands of pounds. Back in 5.
So, what happened next, Ed?
Yeah, did she stab him or what?
Well, he reached for the plastic knife. She stabbed his arm with her shoe. There was blood everywhere. He fell backwards, knocked himself out on the trouser press.
Oh, so they do come in handy sometimes, them things.
Same again, everyone.
Shush! Yeah.
Melanie, meanwhile, fell onto the ashtray where my pipe was still alight. You can just see a bit of fake tan on the bowl.
Yeah.
And burnt a big hole in her dress.
Here, could you see anything?
So she really did crash and burn?
Indeed. Then the police arrived and carted the pair of them off. After which Colin Rogers, the real Colin Rogers, mark you, found himself promoted for correctly deducing the identity of the murderer, which I had professionally refused to reveal, even at plastic knife point.
It's sad that people can be driven to them lengths.
It is, yes. Still, serve him right for having a career.
Well, I'm going to the bar before I die of boredom.
You should listen to this, Charles. There's a better story than that Miss Marple Christmas special of yours.
Yeah, this is true life.
Oh, I don't know. Casting that boy from Little Britain as Miss Marple was inspired.
The Radio Times described it as perfect holiday viewing. Thank you.
Exactly. With a bit of luck, you were holidaying abroad when it was on.
Monday, and after the mayhem of the Power South weekend, a relief to get back into the writer's routine, as I scan the accumulation of final demands before consigning them to the bin. True, I now have to pay for my swim, and there are no free copies of The Independent anywhere, but at least I am my own man again. Moreover, the hairdryer that found its way from the drawer into my bag as I was leaving the Stavros Welcome Hotel meant that I was able to attend to my dripping beard in the privacy of my own home, rather than having to stand in front of the big mirror at the pool changing room among the Berkhamsted underclass, reading their tattoos backwards.
Yes, Elgar, I'll do your tale in a minute. Oh, look, we've got a message.
Ed, it's Marion Blunt. Blunt Instruments?
I'm not doing another rewrite.
Something rather exciting's happened. I just had a call from Jasmine Vane's office. He's the famous movie director. I think you said you knew him?
I wish I could stop doing that.
Anyway, he's got wind of what happened last weekend and wants to buy the rights to the story from me.
What?
And I thought, with all your experience, you'd be the perfect person to tell me how much I should ask him for. I mean, 5,000? 50,000? I really have no idea.
Start with a pint of IPA and go down from there. I've got a beard to dry. What's going on? The computer's gone off. No lights either. Must be a power cut. Oh, no.
Ed Reardon's Week starred Christopher Douglas, with Stephanie Cole, Morwenna Banks, David Cann, John Fortune, Sally Grace, Simon Greenall, Sally Hawkins, Matthew Holness, Philip Jackson, Rita May, Adam Shipway, Laura Solon, and Geoffrey Whitehead. It was written by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. The producer was Simon Nichols.